Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm riding the Honda Navi, taking it for a ride during golden hour, so the time leading up to sunset. Got some nice beautiful skies. It's a nice cool October day. It's gonna get a little bit cooler around here in the following days, so I figure I'd go on a ride before it's a little bit colder. So we're starting out here by Seneca golf course, and I've done a number of rides where I've started from this area, so I figured I actually would take one where I go through Cherokee Park, because I don't think I've done that yet. So I'll ride through Cherokee Park and Seneca Park, maybe see how much light there is. It's getting darker. And I know that I'm using, not that I get a ton of views on all these videos, but if anybody is watching them, you might get a little bit of whiplash from the different camera setups from video to video. For this one, I'm using the DJI Pocket 2, mostly because it does pretty well in low light, better than the GoPro that I've got. And even though it has a smaller sensor, it actually does better than the Insta360 1-inch sensor 360 camera. Even though it's a smaller sensor, I mean, it's because the entire thing is just a little gimbal, so it doesn't have to use any image stabilization stuff. So it's able to get a pretty clean image even when it's dark. Alright, so now I'm going to be going past Big Rock Park. I'm not actually going to go through there. Actually looks pretty busy at the moment. Big Rock Park, kind of regardless of what time you go there, there tends to be a number of people in there. Yeah, so the Honda Navi got 945 miles. So I'm getting closer to 1,000. I figure it's a great day to go for a ride while there's this fall foliage. So the trees, the leaves are actually changing color. And it's not too cool, not too cold. It's nice weather. So I figure it'd be a good day to go through on the Navi. Because I've gone through here a lot on the various e-bike videos and stuff that I've recorded. I don't think I've actually taken the Navi through. So I'll just ride it through and see what it all looks like. It's that time of year when you have a relatively limited window when you have the nice, yellow, orange, red leaves on the trees before they all just fall off. So I figure I go for a ride, and hopefully this doesn't get too grainy or ugly on the video. I'm just testing this out because I've used this camera before for nighttime stuff, and at nighttime it does okay. I hadn't actually used it at leading up to sunset and golden hour, so I figure it'd be a good test. Yeah, so Cherokee Park is a good place. If you're wanting to, run, jog, cycle, what have you, it's great for that. And if you're wanting to cruise through on a motorcycle, you can do that as well. The speed limit throughout is 25. Now, whether people adhere to that or not is, a different topic, but that is the speed limit, so this isn't really somewhere to go and carve up the twisty turns and see what your, handling prowess is. This is more of like a slow, nice little cruise through a park. And then you'll, I said, with the cycling and the running and the jogging, you'll often see a lot of people through here. especially on the weekends when it's nice, you know, utilizing the park. I mean, there's still a decent number of people in here right now, but it is getting closer to being nighttime. So that may be why you don't see as many people. It's also getting a little bit chilly. And in this park, in the recent, you know, past year or so, I know there's at least one movie that shot here, because I went through one night riding one of my bikes, I think, one of the e-bikes, and in this area through here, there were a lot of grip trucks and generators and stuff going, so the kind of trucks and stuff you would see associated with, you know, film production work, with a bunch of lights and generators and stuff. So I saw them all parked over in this area, and I looked it up, and there was in fact a movie shooting here. I forget what it was called, and it had Bella Thorne and some other actors I had heard of in it, so it wasn't just a local production. It was, I'm assuming, something that started elsewhere and decided to shoot here for tax break purposes, or there were the specific things they needed location-wise. And then, I don't know if it was the same movie or a different one, but the Big Rock Park area that I went by earlier, there was one day that it was shut off to car traffic and, you know, foot traffic, and it was blocked off for some type of film production. I would assume it's the same project. It was like, you know, a week or so apart. And then, of course, this park always has people here taking pictures for, you know, engagement photos, maternity photos, senior photos, couples photos, what have you. There's always people up here taking pictures for stuff. And this would be one of the nicer times of year to do it, because there is, as I mentioned, an ample amount of foliage that is fall colors. Okay. Trying to block everything up for somebody's little photo shoot deal. Which I guess I could have waited, but it's getting closer to dark. I'm trying to get as much of this in while I can while there's still sunlight out. So that was just going to the section of the park. I'm blanking on the name of the hill, but there's a hill that goes from the top area, Cochran Hill, I think. That's Cochran Hill. So now we're going to go up to the area where there's the Hogan's Fountain in the Fountain Pavilion at the top of the park. Oh, get out of the road, squirrel. Because at the top of this section of the park, there's a fountain of the Greek god Pan, and there is a pavilion which is currently closed to usage. It's locked down, you're not able to get in to use it. I believe there were structural concerns with the pavilion, so they closed it until further notice. A lot of nice fall colors, pretty beautiful out here. There's a basketball court and in a separate covered picnic area. So over to the left, that is the statue of Pan that I mentioned. And then through here, up straight ahead where the basketball courts are, there's a couple people using them. When you come here in the summer, the basketball courts are usually pretty full. They usually have, you know, a game or two going for quite a while with a lot of people participating, so it's a popular spot, it seems. And then there's a picnic area, covered picnic area up here as well. And I think you can rent the picnic areas, because a lot of times I think it's just first come, first serve, where people, you know, if you haven't specifically reserved it, people just try to get up there early and stake a claim. But then you can also reserve it officially. More beautiful fall foliage. I don't want to keep saying the word foliage over and over. But again, as I mentioned before, this isn't really the place you'd want to go through if you want to test your handling skills, because you're not going to get a chance to go that fast. I mean, the speed limit's pretty low to begin with, and I don't think you're going to get many opportunities to go very fast, even if there was none. It's also, you know, being park area. At any moment, somebody could roll down the side of a hill on a mountain bike and cross your path, so you want to be careful. That doesn't make much difference if I have it on the high beam or the low beam. But I think, you know, for the Honda Navi, if, you know, you've been on the fence about getting this or some of the other Honda mini motos, I think one of the best use cases for them is for kind of cruises like this, where you're not really getting up to super high speeds or anything. Because you have a moped, you know, you could do, I mean, in Kentucky, legally, mopeds are supposed to top out at 30 miles an hour. Now, do a lot of them adhere to that? Probably not. But the point being, with this, you can do kind of a chill cruise through a park area, or you can hit a road and do 45 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour if you need to. Now, it's not going to be super fast to get to 50, and you can't do 50 in all conditions. So this is a little road and path that cuts through the park by the bird sanctuary area that goes to some neighborhoods up here by Alta Vista Road. So I'll just cut through here. And that's another area where you have to be careful, because somebody could come through on a mountain bike. So you need good visibility of the area and not go super fast. And then this road up here, I believe, should be Alta Vista Road. This goes through a number of swankier, larger homes. And on the right, there is a seminary that was up for sale, and there were concerns that, you know, within the neighborhood, that it might be bought and developed for apartments or something. But a couple that lived in the area, and I guess I can just ride through here real quick, actually bought this entire thing and donated it to the park system, or the portion that was for sale. So I believe it's supposed to be added to part of the parks. There were some apartments that they're tearing down that you can't get through anymore. This is a place where, I guess, you know, seminary, and there's also plenty of people hold weddings here, because they have some buildings that are pretty cinematic and pretty well utilize as spaces for weddings or things where you want to have photo ops and picturesque scenarios. I'm on this Honda Navi, so I'm not going to ride around through there, but kind of looks like a scene out of a movie. There's signs about no group or individual photography. I don't know what all has happened to all the buildings. I don't know if all this was included in that sale or if it's just the property or part of it or what have you, but so when I go back down this road, it'll take me close to where I was earlier. So Alta Vista Road, which I'll go back to, will come out by the Big Rock Park area. So then that'll be where I was at earlier. Man, people really come out of nowhere and gun it when they get behind you. There's an Audi behind me that I think wants to pass. Speed limit through here is a relatively slow 25 miles per hour. Then this is this road will come out near where I was at earlier. I guess this will be a little bit easier editing job because it's one of the times I'm not using a 360 camera or multiple cameras or something. The only things I really have to do are just to sync the audio up with the video and then just edit if there's any times I need to cut for some reason. So now I'm going back the way I was coming from earlier. Going back towards the Seneca golf course. I'm going to go over by Seneca Park, by that area, and then I'll wrap things up. Yeah, so if you're in the, the Louisville area, I'm sure you already know of these parks. If you're not from the area and you come here, Cherokee Park is a fun place to visit because there's hiking and mountain bike trails and stuff to do in that realm without having to go super far out away from restaurants and bars and other entertainment. The Audi that was behind me for a while could not wait to get past me. So let's see. So I'll just cut through here real quick. Go through some back roads. So this takes you along the outside of Seneca Park, and I'll end by Seneca Park. These are just, kind of nice roads if you want to go for bike rides or things like that. So this is on the back side of the golf course. There's some mountain bike trails that go through the woods, but I think those are actually closed right now as they're doing some maintenance as part of other projects around, you know, upkeep of the trail system in the parks. And then occasionally you'll see people, you know, parked throughout here just chilling. Sometimes people park and, you know, go hiking or, you know, exploring, or just park here because it's a nice area that's away from major traffic if they want to park there for a little while. So it is getting darker. It'll be dark here in a second. Some of the street lights are turning on even. But I figured this was a nice time to go for a ride and just to test out using this camera for stuff at sunset. And these are these overpasses here. These are Interstate 64. And this is going up Huntington Road. I'll be at the Seneca Park here in a minute. Seneca has a nice track if you want to go for a walk or a run or something. It's off the road. So it has like an oval track that loops the park. I think it's a quarter of a mile, if I remember correctly. Maybe I may be incorrect, but you can loop the track if you want to get in a walk or run or jog or something. And then there's ample space in the middle for playing soccer or football or running or, you know, doing whatever you want to in an outdoor space. And there's also tennis courts that you can utilize. Yeah, so up ahead, that is just the field area. That's Seneca Park in between the track area. So a nice area if you want to come and get in a nice run or jog or walk. You know, between this and Cherokee Park, there's two parks pretty close where you can get a lot of stuff taken care of, because there's the Seneca golf course that I passed at the beginning and on the way back here. Cherokee Park has their own golf course. It's not a full course, but they do have one I think is popular with, you know, beginners, people practicing or what have you. There's tennis courts here and restroom facilities. And then there is a basketball court that's up here as well, so you can play basketball here or at Cherokee Park. So actually, I'll stop at the golf course, or not the golf course, the basketball court to wrap this up. And you know, this is an area where this one is not so great for, you know, if you want to cruise through on a bike or something, like a motorcycle, because it's just the road that goes next to the park, and then it kind of leads you, you know, towards Cherokee Park. But this area would be nice for, you know, like I said, running, walking, jogging, bicycle ride, things like that. There's a basketball court here, nice big wide open field as well. Yeah, so that's a nice fall ride around on the Honda Navi. Just testing what this DJI camera looks like near sunset. But yeah, that'll wrap up this ride. Until next time.